So this is just a little bit of history. So the term myalgic encephalomyelitis came in 1956 in the Lancet, and essentially it was because there was these series of seeming outbreaks that this doctor sort of put together and thought that they may be related. This term, benign myalgic encephalomyelitis, was coined. Benign not because it's easy, but because people weren't dying like they sometimes did from polio. And then in the 80s, there was an outbreak in Nevada, Incline Village, and there was a question of whether it should be tied to the previous outbreaks, and it was sort of decided not to, and the term chronic fatigue syndrome was then coined. This is the reason why all of you in the UK probably get frustrated with those of us in the US that we use the term chronic fatigue syndrome, and I understand why. One thing I think is important to think about is that encephalomyelitis, really the evidence for that is not super strong, and that's part of what we're trying to develop. If you went to a doctor in the United States and said, I have chronic fatigue syndrome, they at least will know what you mean. But most doctors who are not engaged in this field, if you tell them I have myalgic encephalomyelitis, they literally will not know what you're talking about. They've never heard that term. And they'll say, oh my God, you have encephalitis? Go to the emergency room, or you're going to die in the next day and a half. You know, part of what we're trying to do is find, and maybe the answer is no, but we're trying to find if there's neuroinflammation, if it's central to this condition, and that's one of the things that we're working on.